So today I will be discussing the entire Moon Knight show, now that we have come to the end of the show. I'll be reviewing the pros and cons, but not the story. Check out my other videos for that, and let's begin. So starting with our main protagonist, Moon Knight, who has multiple personalities, including Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and now it's confirmed that there's a third personality, Jake Lockley, who is the murderous side of the three. I really like the battle and eventually compassion that Mark and Stephen have, and is one of the best things about the show. Oscar Isaac was the best choice for this character. He's kind of like how Robert Downey Jr. was made to be Iron Man. Oscar Isaac was made to be Moon Knight. The design of the Moon Knight and Mr. Knight skins are amazing. I'm glad they did not make his costume similar to Batman, as many people compare the two. Our villain throughout the show is named Arthur Harrow, played by Ethan Hawke, who was just recently in The Northman, and he kind of reminds me of Thanos, where they are the bad guy, but in their own eyes, they are the hero, as they kill people but believe it is to save the world. And I just thought both of them were very easy to like and compelling, and were not just your typical evil villain trying to take over the world. Layla, who is the wife of our protagonist, was, I would say, ineffective, but didn't really seem to matter in the grand scheme of the show, and I honestly would keep forgetting her as a character. Not saying her acting is bad, but the writing for her character was bad, and that might be because she wasn't in the show a whole lot, but unlike Moon Knight and Arthur Harrow. Okay, so now onto the story. I think that the first two episodes were great and were in a direction that was going upwards. Towards the third episode, though, it kind of lost its footing based on the fact that the third episode didn't do much for the plot and kind of was like a filler episode and only served to introduce a couple things that wouldn't have meaning until later on. Everything involving Mark Spector and Stephen in the asylum was great, and the idea of not knowing if what had happened before was real or not was very effective, and the backstory of Mark and Stephen was very saddening, and it was just a very emotional 2 episodes that wasn't boring and had enough information to keep me entertained. I don't think there was ever a portion of the show I was bored with and didn't like, except for maybe the third episode, but even then, that episode was good. Another thing that I liked is how the setting was in England and how the character was British. Stephen, I mean. Stephen is by far my favorite character out of all the Marvel shows, and I would even argue that it's better than my previous favorite, which was Loki. Now, with all that said, I don't think I have anything else to say about the show. I will now be going over the things that didn't work for the show, which won't be much, honestly. One thing I did not like about the show was how short it was. I mean, 6 episodes was kind of short, but I felt like they could have used another episode to expand more on Arthur Harrow and explain more about Khonshu, because we the viewers have kind of already got as much Mark and Stephen as we can handle. The ending was very surprising and action-packed, with Mark and Stephen working together to defeat Harrow, and Khonshu and Amit reenacting Godzilla vs. Kong in the background while they are fighting. Okay, so my final rating for the show is an 8 out of 10. At the end of the show, it felt kind of chopped up and that there were parts of another episode missing, but all in all, it is my favorite Marvel show to date so far, so please like the video and subscribe. And I know this is a short review, like I said, and I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.